Friday. Go ahead and give this one a try. Still some dividing fractions. A couple people wanted to get a little extra on that. So we got a plot of land that is 13.5 acres. It is inherited by 4 people. How much land would each person get? You don't want to use calculators for this. Stuff will be inactive. Sydney, what'd you get?
827.
No. Try.
3 3/8.
The big key here, what's being split up? The land. The land is being split up. When you do your division, whatever is being split up, whatever's being divided up is what needs to go first. So we've got 13.5 divided by 4. It's being divided between the 4 people. So we make that an improper fraction. That makes it 27 over 2. And we do keep change flip. We change to multiplication. When you have a whole number, remember it's like the whole number's over 1. So we flip it. That changes it to 1/4. And we get 27 over 8. If it's one where you type it in that way would be fine. Otherwise, 8 goes into 27 3 times. 3 left over. Keep the denominator. Any questions on that? When you do division or subtraction problems, order matters. If you put it in the wrong order for division, you're going to get the reciprocal. You're going to get the flipped version of the answer. If you put it in the wrong order for subtraction, you're going to get the wrong sign. So you want to always make sure, pay attention to the order on those types of problems. Let's fill up a sandbox. It has a length of 5 feet, width of 3.5, and a depth of 1.5. This one you can use a calculator. Need your answer as a mixed number. Or a whole number if it works out that way. Gray. No. Ford.
26 and 1/4.
Yeah. It's filling the sandbox. That's volume. So you do length times width times height. 5 times 3.5 times 1.5 gives you 26 and 1/4. So just multiply everything out in your calculator. Like we said, 26 1/4. Any questions on that one? All right, try this one then. Alex? 17.5 is correct. Y'all, it's the exact same sandbox. 5 feet, 3.5 feet, 1.5 feet. So when you multiplied those together, we got 26 and 1/4. Since it's 2/3 filled, you just take the volume there and you multiply by 2/3. You could do 5 times 3.5 times 1.5 times 2/3. Multiply all that together. And then you get, like he said, 17.5. Any questions on that one? If you have something that's filled by a fractional amount, you just multiply by the fraction. One of the other things some of the other kids said they needed a little more practice on were some problems like these. So we got a box of 8 crayons for 96 cents. At that unit price, how much would a box of 30 crayons cost? Sarah E? No. Jacob? $3.60 is correct. All right, so we've got 96 cents for 8 crayons. We want to know how much for 30 crayons. So we just make a proportion. 30 times 96 cents divided by 8. It gives you 3.6. Since it's money, we have that 0 at the end, so we get $3.60. Any questions there? I mean, you could also, it talks about the unit price. Unit price is the price for 1. So if you did 96 divided by 8, that would give you the price of 1 crayon. And then you multiply that by 30. But that's doing basically the same exact math that we're doing here. Let's see how much flour we need for 144 cookies. Sydney? 13 cups of flour. All right, so we got 3 1/4 cups, 36 cookies. And we're trying to make 144 cookies. So proportions with fractions sometimes look a little weird because it's like a fraction on top of a fraction or something. But you do 144 times 3 1/4 divided by 36, and we get 13. Okay? If you get problems where they got 3 numbers, I've said this before, but if you get problems with 3 numbers and you don't know what to do, try a proportion. You might not be right, but decent chance you could be. Battery factory, 7 out of 600 batteries are defective. If the factory produces 18,600 batteries each day, how many can they expect to be defective? Robert? 217 is correct. So we got 7 out of 600. That's a ratio. So we do that as half our proportion. And then the 18,600 is a total there. So that's going on our bottom number. So we got 18,600 times 7 divided by 600. We get 217. Okay? Any questions on that one? No? Try those 4. Top left, -5 plus 8. Zion? 3 is correct. When the signs are different, you subtract, use the sign of the bigger number. So that gives us 3. Mason, top right, 3 plus -9. 6 is incorrect. David, 9 is incorrect. Alex, -6 is correct. When the signs are different, which they are right here, you subtract. So 9 minus 3 is 6. Use the sign of the bigger number, so that makes -6. All right, bottom left, -6 minus 2. Ford.
-4.
Nope. Try. -8. When we have subtraction, we do same, change, change. First number stays the same. We change to addition. We change it to subtraction. Then we follow our rules. The signs are the same. You add and keep the sign. Bottom right, 4 minus -2. Sarah E. 6 is correct. Again, it's subtraction. Same, change, change. That becomes 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. I mean, technically we keep the sign, but we're just positive at that point. Any questions on those? Is that we need to do a little more practice with those tomorrow, probably then, huh? All right, so you're almost more likely to see it this way, though, with those little plus minus circles. So which expression is modeled by those circles? Sometimes they call those circles charges. David? C is incorrect. Gray? Alexandra? B is correct. All right, so here's how this works. When you have the picture is an addition problem, okay? The answer choices might not be, but the picture is. So how many positives I got? 4. So we got 4 positives. How many negatives? 7. So we got +4 plus -7. Everybody follow with what I'm saying? That's a addition problem. We could change the order, and it's the same thing. Going back to what I was saying before, order matters for subtraction and division. For multiplication and addition, it doesn't matter. We can flip it around like that. But the signs have to stay. So we need the answer choice that looks like one of those two. A is -+7. That one's not right. The other choices have subtraction. When they have subtraction, we need to do same, change, change. First number stays the same. We change to addition. We change the sign on the second number. So for B, -7 stays -7. Change to addition. Change to positive. And you can see that matches right there. That's why B is the correct answer. If I keep going, C, we got 4 plus +7 when we do same, change, change. So C doesn't work. For D, if I do same, change, change, that becomes 7 plus -4. Those are the opposite of the signs we want. Any questions there? Another thing you could do, are there more red or yellow circles? More red, how many more? 3, and red was negative. So that means my answer up here is -3. Everybody follow on that? If I get the answer here, that's 3. Get the answer here, that's -3. If I get the answer here, that's 11. If I get the answer here, that's 3. So it's going to be the one that has the same answer. If you're doing it with on the calculator inactive, that might not be as helpful. But if you're doing it on the calculator active, you could put each one of those into your calculator and see which answer choice matches with the answer to the picture, okay? All right, these squares are tiny. So hard to see from where you're sitting. I'm going to go ahead and just do these, okay? The shape, though, kind of an upside-down house, home plate looking thing, right? What shapes can we make it into? Triangle and a rectangle, okay? Are there other ways I could do it too? Yeah, I could split it right down the middle and make it two trapezoids. A few different ways, okay? Triangle and rectangle seems to be the most obvious way to y'all, okay? So we count. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll notice when I count, I'm counting the middle of these squares, right? I'm not counting the lines. Some of y'all mess up when you start counting the lines. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For my triangle then, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just find the area on each. 7 times 10 for the rectangle. That's 70. For the triangle, base times height divided by 2. That's 20. We add them together. 70 plus 20. Oops. That equals 90. Okay? Everybody kind of follow? Look at another one. What shapes we got here? All right, I heard trapezoid, rectangle, triangle to start with. So we'll go with that. If we do it that way, I draw a line there, line there. Are there other places I could draw the lines and make different shapes? Yeah. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, because that matters. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, rectangle, easy one. 4 times 10. That's 40. Triangle, probably next easiest. Base times height divided by 2. 10 times 5 is 50. 50 divided by 2, 25. Trapezoid, a little trickier. What are my two bases? 10 and 4. So we do 10 plus 4. That's 14. Divide by 2. That's 7. Times the height, that's 21. Then we add them up. 40 plus 25 plus 21, that would give me 86. Okay? I know those aren't ideal from your seats, especially when it's like tiny squares like that. Counting from your seats is difficult. Counting on the screen is not easy either. So even when you have it on the EOG right in front of you, just careful with your counting. That's probably the most common mistake I see in class is y'all miscount. You know, and if you're gonna get one wrong, get it wrong because you don't know how to do it, not because you counted wrong, right? You know? Woohoo!